Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to accomplish a different kind of CNC project, and we are using Spire CNC program. This program enables you to create solid model objects, and it enables you to create toolpath files. And toolpath files are very instrumental to use CNC machine, essential item to use the CNC machine. So anytime you create a 3D solid model in a program like AutoCAD, Revit, Inventor, or Spire, okay, that needs to be converted into toolpaths. And Spire program application is particularly good for converting those 3D solid model images to toolpaths, as well as creating solid model images. So you could have created a solid model in any other program, but ultimately you need the Spire to convert everything to toolpaths. So today we're going to be focusing on a drawing file, okay? But we're going to insert into a 3D wood blank that's going to be 5 3/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch thick. And we're going to machine this wood down and drawing the lines, okay, on the original drawing. So you're not, this solid model object that you're creating actually is a version of the freehand drawing file, and it's going to be interesting conversion. That's why I bring it up to your attention here. I find out Albert Einstein, one of my favorite scientists, he's one of the two persons who started quantum mechanics, science of quantum mechanics. And so I find the picture, one of the older pictures when he was probably in Princeton and teaching back in those days. So that particular picture, is actually a drawing of the face of Albert Einstein. And it was a PNG file, and this now Spire program is going to convert it into an engraved file. So this is our setting, and the wood, the type of wood I have is poplar. Poplar is a softwood, and the CNC was working on the top surface of this wood, and the size of the wood is 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 by 3/4 of an inch, and the material surface, the zero surface is the material, and the center of the entire operation is in the very middle of the wood, okay? And I selected high quality, very high and slower version of the CNC routing operation. And the pine is also softwood. I could not find the poplar. Poplar is a very famous, well-known piece of wood, but in the list I find only pine. Pine is the softwood too, so that should be acceptable. Now I'm going to click on OK one. At this point, I'm going to insert the image that I downloaded from Albert Einstein picture. And I'm going to move my cursor on the top right-hand corner icon where it says Import Bitmap. Click on it, okay? And I put the original picture into Pictures, and called Albert PNG, click, and I'm opening now. And this is the image. This image needs to be a little bit smaller, maybe 8%, 90% smaller maybe. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to scale command and select scale and change it to, say, well, 90%. Would that help? How about 80%? Or another 90%. Let's see. That's better. So I'm going to close this. Okay, I'm done. And we always use a marquee around the pictures. That's very important. It's a frame around the pictures. That's important. So let's click on this rectangle command and then drag the rectangle evenly. Okay. And apply and close. Okay, this rectangle, I'm going to use this rectangle around the circle around, surround the picture image. So I'm selecting the rectangle, click on it, okay? And this will be, I'm going to use the modeling, and I'm going to be using creating shape from vector files. This is supposed to be engraved. -1 would work for me, and -1 would work for me either way, and let me apply it and see how it goes. Once you apply it, you need to be patient. It takes time. The computer has to calculate everything. This is good. Now we have something in our hands, an engraved area. Okay, and I'm going to apply, and I'm going to start a new component. Click on the new component. Click on this and close. Here, we should have the Einstein picture. So you move. I'm turning off the level 1 and component 1 options. Otherwise, I won't be able to see Einstein picture. I'm selecting. So if you click on it, components are on this final product. But if you turn it off, you get to see the picture of the Einstein. So you move your cursor over one of the lines of the Einstein and carefully select it. Click on it. The reason I'm doing that, those lines actually is bitmap lines, and they need to be converted into engraved files, lines. For that purpose, I'm selecting the picture from the line, okay? And from here, I have to go to back to drawing, and there is a command called trace the bitmap. So that is a particularly good command, useful command in situations like this when you want to create a bitmap file convert a bitmap file into a line work. Okay, even though it looks like a line, these are not the kind of line the CNC machine understanding. So in order to convert these bitmap lines into the polygon lines, we need to click on this. After selecting the image, we need to click on here, click, and computer automatically gives you a bunch of options. You don't want color at this point. We don't have color option in the CNC yet, but we have the black and white. Click on that, and the tight, this should be on the tight corner fits, and 1-2 pixel is fine. Noise filter, default fading is around 50%. You want to preview it, click on it, and lines are created perfectly, automatically. So you apply it, and then you close the operation. Now, this good news is lines are created perfectly. That means you can start engraving this picture. So you can click on the line again, and it gets red hot. This is a very important part. You go to modeling, okay, and you move on to top left corner and create shape from vector outlines. Now I have vector outlines has been already selected, so click on this, okay, and I'm checking the angles. It should be engraved, so I'm selecting the subtract from the previous component, okay, and perhaps I will go with -2 option, and I'm going to click apply command. Now computer needs to calculate this. Okay, the picture is showing right now. I may have to reduce the base height to -2, and try again, apply again, so that you can have a little bit deeper. Okay, I just, at this point, I just want you to test a few other options. Okay. For example, the base height is, I set it to 0.75, see, to see what happens. This is your maximum, right? And then I suggest you to take a look at it from different angles. I'm erasing the minuses, negatives. I think it looks a little bit more realistic right now. And it's an engraved project. Okay, so so far so good, and this is pretty much the effect that we want to have on the modeling view. And I'm going to apply everything and close. All right, and now we need to create the toolpaths. Now, there is an error message here, model position in material, so that we need to pay attention. So new material height is 0.75, and I'm going to apply this. Okay. And then okay. Now at this point, we already selected ball nose router bit, and it's 1/8 of an inch thick. Now we're gonna go calculate. Calculation process is getting done currently, and now in order to look at it, what it looks like, we need to go here and select preview selected toolpath. Now I feel like I'm going to have to modify this. So I'm going to go back. And erase the current one. I'm choosing vector, selected levels, model boundary, boundary offset 0.4 inches. Okay, and we get the conventional option. Let me take a look at this option. The quality of the work expected should be a little better than that. So I'm going to just simply change the numbers again. I'm going to erase this option. All right, it's getting better, but not where it is I want it to be. So we're going to be trying it a few times. I'm going to erase this panel again. Hmm. Okay, so this is the final product, and at this point, I suggest you to save your work. And when you're saving, you just specify the axiom .mmg file. Okay. Save the toolpaths and make sure you save it to your personal account. I'm going to save it my name, AlbertByEge, and find a way to express your name on the file. Thank you very much for your time, and I suggest you to give it a try. And if you need help, always give me a call or raise your hand. I'll be right next to you. Thank you very much.